Tonight on Scrap Hoarders, after years of crafting and card making, the team of 10 crafters will brave their piles and bins of paper scraps to help you destroy yours.
Hello and welcome to the Scrap Hoarders Birthday Collaboration Series. There are wonderful crafters in this collaboration, and for the next 2 weeks we're going to show you different ways to use your scraps. We all have tons of scraps from our card making and other paper crafting, and this week we're going to show you how to use those scraps to make tags and favors. And in the final week we'll be making cards. At the top of the description box, you'll find a link to the next person in the lineup. I hope you take time to watch all of our videos, and as always, we love your comments and thumbs up. And if you aren't already a subscriber, we hope you'll consider subscribing and click on the little bell so you won't miss the next volume of the Scrap Hoarders series. You can also use hashtag Scrap Hoarders to find all of our videos. Some of us might be offering prizes on our channel, so be sure to pay close attention to details. At the end of this 3-week series, we will have 3 grand prize winners drawn from those that watched and commented on all videos each week. The grand prize drawings are open internationally. Check the description box down below for all of the details. Hi guys, so for this episode of Scrap Hoarders Birthday Edition, we are making some tags. Now I've got several different tag dies. The sets I'm using today though, because I figured I would make some cute little tags, are the MFT Tag Builders Blueprint 6 Dienamics and the Lawn Fawn Heart Shaker Gift Tag. Now both of these sets you can create shakers with, and what's really fun is they've also got all of these little dies here that you can actually make your little shaker bits. With the MFT set, it's got multiple sizes of little hearts. You've got your teeny tiny ones, and then you've got medium and a little bit larger, but all of them are very small. And then we've also got on the Tag Builders set from MFT, let's see if I can grab all of those. We've got stars and hearts, and these are small, and then we've got these teeny tiny ones, which are very tiny little circles. So you've got 3 different sizes, so you could make any kind of shaker bits that you could need, all out of your scrap paper. And that is one of the wonderful things about some of these sets. Now I'm not going to be doing that today. I'm actually going to just make some regular tags with these, and I've already cut out a bunch of the different pieces. Now for the MFT heart one, we've got the heart shape. So we've got the heart shape, and then we've also got an outline, and it's a stitched little outline border there, and then we've got the inner side that says XOXO, a heart with that on there, plus all of the little bits on the inside, so you could always add those back into your card if you wanted to. So that's from the MFT set. With the Tag Builders, it's got a bunch of other options. We've got, this one is basically a border. So you've got a stitched border, you've got your regular circle, you've got your regular circle that's stitched, and then it cuts out a half circle window. You've got where you can just cut out standard circle with some stitching, standard circle without. It's also got the to and from that you could die cut out as well, and a bunch of little attachers for the top if you want to use those. So it's got a lot of different things. Oh, plus a bunch of little banners, so you could add little banners to your tags. So I went ahead and cut out a bunch of these, and I'm going to just start putting some of these things together, and then once they're, some of them are actually, kind of glued together and assembled, I can decide, do I need anything additional to embellish them? So I'm just going to turn on some music while I do that, and go ahead and get started making these tags. I've already got all of these little pieces die cut out, so I'm just layering those up. You guys know that I don't really like using just one layer on a lot of my projects. I don't think it feels quite substantial enough. So I am layering up 2 or 3 layers of each of those little tag pieces, so we've got a substantial little tag to start adding a little bit extra to. I'm also going to add a bunch of those little banners onto the tags, and this is actually a really good use of some of those really thin strips that we all have and don't want to throw away because it would be perfect size for a sentiment strip. If you have anything smaller than that, you probably need to go ahead and toss it in the bin. So I'm just cutting out a bunch of those, and then I'm going to stamp them using my Tim Holtz stamp platform. To make it go even faster on stamping out those little banners, I went ahead and die cut out one of each of those two different banners. One's got a fishtail end and the other is flat end, and I went ahead and cut out a little template that I'm going to be using to do my stamping. You see it here. I'm also using these tiny sentiments from a Lawn Fawn tiny sentiment die set, stamp set. I think that's the name. I'll leave the name down below so that you have got that. But I'm also stamping out some other small sentiments too because they're perfect size to go on these tiny little tags. Now I'm ready to decorate it. I pulled out a bunch of little die cuts and such that I've had in my stash for a while. Those little bee dies are part of a Spellbinders set, and I actually had those little bees in a little baggie in with that die set, so I cut these out a long time ago. So I'm going to go ahead and just color up one of the bees for one of those cute little tags. I'm just using some of my Spectrum Noir markers to do that, and it's real simple coloring. With the coloring done on that little bee, I'm just going to layer up some of the pieces that I've got for one of the tags. Of course, we have to add a little shimmer to his wings. Next, I'm grabbing one of those little tiny happy birthday sentiments that I had stamped earlier and cut a part off camera. I did cut it with a very tiny border because I wanted to make sure that they would fit on these little tags. And I'm going to go ahead and just glue that in place. Since there is a tiny bit of dimension because of the different layers, for instance the bee is a little bit raised, I'm putting a little piece of cardstock behind that sentiment so that it'll basically be level or flat. Now, it wouldn't be a tag without some kind of a cord or something to tie it onto your package. So I'm using some gold and white baker's twine that again, it's another thing I've had in my stash forever. And I'm going to use that, and one of my tricks I absolutely love, I'm going to be using a dental flosser to thread the twine through that little hole in the tag. And the first of my little tags is done. Okay, I don't know about you, but I have got so many little bits that I have not used on some cards that I had planned and not had the time or found the time to get them all done. One of these is these cute little images from Kindred Stamps. It's from a couple of Star Wars sets, and then I thought, you know, I bet those fairies would look cute too. So I'm going to go ahead and color up one of these little fairies from this Fairy Friend set from Lawn Fawn on a little tiny piece of scrap cardstock that I've got. It's going to be some real simple coloring, but I think that would look so cute on one of those tags with flowers. Then I fussy cut that little fairy out, going real close to the lines that draw the outline. You could use one of the coordinating dies if you have one. I don't have one, and this really only took a minute or so to get that cut out. Now I'm going to go ahead and get her adhered to the front of one of those little tags. I think you can kind of see the whole procedure that I'm going through here with this. For each of my little tags, I'm picking some little embellishment that I've had on my desk, a die cut of some sort, or a colored image, whatever, that's been sitting on my desk or sitting in my scrap bin for a while, and I'm prettying it up a little bit and getting it ready to go on the front of one of those little tags, and then I'm adding one of the happy birthday sentiments and those two little banners with the to and from messages on there. This one is a bee die cut. I'm not sure exactly which one this one came from, but I will see if I can find the die set and let you guys know down in the comments, as well as for all of the other little embellishments I'm adding to all of my tags. Once I get to the embellishments on the front and the little happy birthday sentiment on there, I'm tying everything together with a piece of that gold and white twine and adding that to and from message on the front. So that's going to finish up my project for this episode of the Scrap Hoarder's Birthday Edition. And since you stuck around to the end, first I want to thank you for doing so and hopping along with us. And I think these little tags turned out so stinking cute. So I'm going to be giving away I think I'll go ahead and give away the entire set. There's 9 of these cute little tags that I made in this little crafting session. So I'll give that away to one lucky commenter down below. So go ahead and leave a comment. First, like this video, subscribe to my channel, and leave a comment down below which of these 9 little tags that you like the best. And one lucky commenter will get the set of all 9 of these. Thank you again for dropping in. Be sure to check out all the other crafters in the hop because I know they're going to have some amazing projects for you to see. Here are some other videos that I know you'll be interested in. Thank you so much for dropping in, and remember, if I can make it, you can too. See you next time.